Listen to this podcast right now! Do you want to hear a fucking podcast about anything and everything? Yeah. Like movies, music, television, and more?
Oh my god.
Well, you come to the right place.
Yes.
Subscribe to Journey into Comics Network, and you get Podcastrophe, hosted by me,
Yes.
Dick. Why not throw a couple bucks to the Patreon? It's your choice. Yeah. This is a Podcastrophe.
That sounds so awesome.
The following
is
a journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
It's a journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
Journey into Comics
Network.
Production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Adulting Ain't Easy, a show that makes you think, why the hell did I leave my parents' house? It's Liz, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Andrew, who doesn't want to talk.
I don't feel good.
Yeah, poor baby.
I had a long weekend.
He had a couple long weekends, and the topic we're kind of going to be discussing now, at least at this point, is the dreaded high school reunion, because that's where we were a couple weekends ago.
Yes, that's where we went right after the last show we did. It was my high school reunion because I am the old one in this relationship.
Haha, I've got 3 more years.
3 more years. But I think you had a good time.
I did. It's especially since I don't get to see, like, a lot of the people from your high school stayed around the area, so you were kind of an oddball where you went kind of not far away, but further away than other people did.
Right. I think of the people that were probably at my reunion, probably 75% were relatively local.
Yeah.
Even if they left at some point for school, they came back to the area.
Right.
And we were in that I was in that smaller percentage, me and a handful of others that went away and just are back for the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Or they still have, like, their parents living in Danville or wherever.
Right. I think a lot of people, I don't know how many people actually stayed at, like, a hotel or anything. I know a couple I knew were staying with parents, and then I got to see a couple of my old friends I haven't seen in a very long time. And you got to meet them, too. And you got to get a taste of what I was like in high school, which is always fun.
Oh, yes. Especially when one of your friends was like, oh, I wish I would have just got a PS2 and called you 2 and we would have played video games for hours. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about what Andrew was like in high school.
True, but you had a good time talking to them, especially because at least even the ones that were, like, married with kids were still, you could see yourself hanging out with them.
That's true, yeah.
And you really liked one of my best high school friends and his girlfriend, because they were still young-ish, and they lived in the city, and
they're not married, which is nice, because a lot of people that were there were married, and it was just very weird. Like, oh, you're getting married, and it was almost like people were like, oh, like, kind of looking down on us because we weren't married. And I'm like, I'm not ready yet, sorry.
I don't think it was necessary. I didn't get that vibe. I got a lot of, I don't have my kids tonight, I am gonna get so drunk.
It was fun, though, except for the fact that when we went to the first event at the bar, that I walk out of the bathroom one time and someone, like, had a trail of puke going. I'm like, is this a normal thing for high school reunions?
I think it's a normal thing for that bar.
Yeah, probably.
It was definitely a hole in the wall, very small for the amount of people that they were expecting. Mm-hmm. Like, the next night when we went to a bar after the actual event, that bar could have held a lot more people, especially with the outside area if they had it well heated. But it wasn't bad. It was weird initially because you show up at an event and you see people that you vaguely remember but haven't talked to, well, in 10 years. Like, some people you haven't talked to since the day you left high school because you were in school friends only. Like, you didn't talk outside of school. You had class together, like, were friendly with them but had really no idea what was going on in their lives. And people change a lot in 10 years. People put on weight, lose hair,
Get gray,
all of that. So people are different. And then some people might remember you more than you remember them, so you have that awkward position of like, hey, how's it going? You're like, oh, it's great, and then you're like, I don't know who that was.
Yeah, like you had a full-on conversation with someone, and he like was having this great conversation, making me think, oh, he must have had some classes with this kid. And then he turns to me later as we're like getting our seat. He's like, I don't think I've ever seen that person in my entire life. And I'm like, really? Your high school is kind of small. No, I really don't think I've ever met that guy.
Well,
like,
I didn't remember him. Like, he sounded familiar, but I couldn't tell you his name. And it's awkward to ask the name. Like, we should have all had name tags on. It would have made things like, oh yeah, it's Bryson, or it's Eric, or it's like, oh, it's all these guys. Yeah, I remember them. Mm-hmm. Or it also gives that sense of pause. Like, you almost pop back into your high school of like, oh, yeah, it's weird. You
remember the people that were quote unquote popular,
right?
And you see that they're not really changed.
Yeah, even though their lives have changed around them, they still have that same. At least in the high school reunion, they have that kind of thing like, they don't know what I've done since then. I'm still the popular kid, even though they work a third shift gas station job with 2 kids and not a whole lot else going on in their lives. And you're like, oh, all right. Mm-hmm. But I know that's kind of an overdramatic statement, but still, it was weird.
You could tell who was popular because there was this very long video at the dinner, and if you saw most of their pictures, I got the sense that they were probably very popular.
Well, it was most of the people who were actually planning it. I think they were the ones who actually had pictures to put in. And the one picture I sent in didn't even make it in. I was like, well, fine. So
that sucks. What the heck?
I don't know.
What was their criteria for that?
I don't know. It was like a 20-minute video.
I know. It was kind of boring, especially for me. I mean, at our table, the people we ended up sitting with, like, there were the girlfriend/wives were not Danville alumni, so it was kind of boring to sit through a slideshow where you saw your significant other maybe once or twice, and then that was it. And you're just kind of bored after that.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice because like it's like some like Tanner and his wife who we've met before. Like, you got to see them, like, back when they were little high school sweethearts, like, my senior year, and you're like, now they have 2 kids and a happy marriage. Look at them.
I thought they had 3.
No, just 2.
Oh.
Or, like, the homecoming. You got really excited when you realized the prom king and queen were married with kids in real life.
Because that never happens.
It might have been homecoming. It was one of the 2.
That never... Well, the problem... We couldn't have that happen at my high school because the prom king and queen were both gay. So that doesn't really work. They couldn't get married. Well, I guess they could have, but I don't think they would have been very happy if they did.
An elaborate beard.
Yeah. And I don't even remember who was our homecoming king and queen my senior year. It's one of those things that it was not any one of my friends or anything. No one I really knew was on court, so I really didn't care.
I don't know, one thing I always thought was really weird when I was in high school is that at the prom, like at the ceremony where they crowned the king and queen for homecoming and prom, last year's homecoming king and queen would show up and like pass the crown down. But it's like, those people are like in college. They just came on a random weekday to do this little ceremony and got dressed up. I'm like, how many times did like people like, do I really have to come to this?
I'm sure that's, especially because you're just starting out in college, I feel like that's a very common sentiment of, oh, really, I have to go back? Perks of not being the prom or homecoming king and queen.
Right.
I'm perfectly content with never having to deal with that.
The one thing that was great, and that's something we talked about on an earlier episode, is that Liz actually danced at the...
They had good music. I'm sorry. It's something that, like, if they have good music, yeah, I'll go out there and dance. But if they don't, then I'm not going to do anything.
Right. But I mean, and it was good. It was music that we both liked and were both familiar with, even though it was music from...
2008.
Well, not all of it. There was some newer stuff than that. But for the most part, it was older music. But everyone knew the dances for it. And there was Soldier Boy. There was, like, the Dougie song. There was other dance songs, plus, like, newer stuff. It was all... Mm-hmm. Sorry. But it was just... I liked it. It was a nice chance to get away and kind of see people you haven't seen in a long time and will probably never see again. Because I don't know how many people... I feel like there's not a 15 year that people typically put on. So the next one's probably the 20, and who knows if I'll come back for that or where I'll be in my life. I'll be even able to, but it's, I don't know.
Well, I'd hope you'd be able to.
Well,
Not like you're, I don't know, dead or anything.
No, I meent like I could be living somewhere else where it's not as convenient, or I have work things. Just some people wanted to come to the 10-year and couldn't do it, but I don't know. I feel like the further you get out from the 10-year, the less likely you're going to keep up with the people you were in high school with.
Yeah.
Like, if you aren't still talking to them, you're probably going to remember less and less of them. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like that slideshow like they played would have made more sense like a 20-year because of how much time had been separated from when you were actually there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only thing that stinks is... So, I'm friends with a lot of people I was friends with in high school still. Like, we still talk and hang out and whatever. And I really want to go to my 10-year, and I don't think anyone's interested. And I'm trying to convince them that it's fun. Well, I haven't really had a chance to talk to them about all this hoopla of 10-year. And I kind of want to, like, I don't know, play it up. It was a good time. I had a good time. And it was fun because I could drink at it. And a lot of people were like, actually one of Andrew's friends, they were talking to the homecoming king, and they were like, you guys have never seen me drink. And then the homecoming king kind of chuckles, and he's like, I've been drinking since high school. And some of the people, just seeing like the people like, I've been drinking since high school, or I didn't start till college, or I don't drink at all.
Right. And then also kind of funny because you're like, someone said you were giving us shots. It's like, you want shots? Okay, let's have shots. Mm-hmm. Liz got involved in our shots with that same guy who, like, it's like, I'm going to buy you a shot. And then, like, later it's like, here's your shots. You want one too? How about you? Okay, 6 shots. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Like, you could definitely tell the parents because they started buying shots for you. And we're like, yes, perfect. When they start buying you drinks, just say, okay.
They're enjoying themselves because they're away from their kids. They have a babysitter, maybe then overnight, so they don't even have to worry about going home early at all. So they're just like, I am free, I can sleep in tomorrow, life is good. Mm-hmm. Or you have, like, someone who's, like, one of my old high school friends' wives who's like, I have to go to work at 1 a.m. I'm like, are you insane? You're drinking right now.
Yeah, but she did end up stopping, which is
That's
good.
true, that's good.
I just could not believe 1 in the morning. I could not do, like, a 1 in the morning start time.
1 to 7.
Ugh.
Like, even if your body adjusts to it, but, like, I would be useless during most daylight hours if I had that kind of job.
Mm-hmm. I am useless during those daylight hours.
Well, I meant, like, the rest of the day. Like, when you're off work, I would sleep all of normal day. Like,
You're right.
Sorry, that was a cough burp thing. Yeah,
that's gross.
I'm just dying. It's fine.
Yeah.
This is
That's
day
what
3
happens
of
when
sick
Andrew
network
has
time.
too much fun.
I had a lot of alcohol and a lot of cold weather.
Yes.
And it just wrecked my immune system.
Yeah, but Andrew gets sick a lot.
I don't...
You get more sick than I do, and I'm a teacher.
Sure, but I think you bring it home.
Well, I can't help that.
Your body's used to it because you're around them all day, but you bring it home to me and I'm not as used to it as you are.
After 10 years of teaching, you'll be fine.
Yeah, by the time you're 10 years into your career, I think I'll be used to it too. One of my coworkers at work, whose wife's also in education, says, like, yeah, you get it brought home and it just invades your house and then it goes away. But you get better as life goes on. I'm like, well, that's good to know.
At least I didn't bring home, like, MRSA or, like, flesh-eating bacteria or anything like that. Not yet.
That would be terrifying. And please don't do that.
I won't.
Like staph infections or whatever, all that stuff that was spreading. Or
they had lice. Last year there was a kid who had lice, and they were out for, like, a month because they couldn't... Because, like, now the lice are so immune to some of the other treatments from the past that you actually have to go to a louser. And, like, I think it's like $100 and some for someone to literally pick out the lice.
So it's no longer like
head.
the
So it's
small
no
comb
longer...
in the shampoo.
Right. It doesn't... The shampoo is not as effective. And it just depends on how... I guess how bad your lice gets.
I'm sorry, you probably just like drowned it. Like dip your head in water and let it just sit there.
Yeah, I don't know. Lice are very interesting.
Yeah.
Not that I want any, because I never got lice.
Don't get lice. Or any other problems like that.
Yeah.
Kids, right?
Yeah.
But thankfully we don't have them right now, so we don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also had a fun weekend doing bachelor party stuff, so he's been all Andrew goes to party. That should be our title. Andrew likes to party.
Andrew had too much party and now is dying.
Yep. So what did you do this weekend, dear?
A couple of my really good friends organized a bachelor party for me that involved us. It was actually like a 4-day affair. It was Thursday night until really Sunday.
It was a beautiful weekend.
It was a nice weekend. So yeah, Thursday night went up to the Wisconsin Dells, stayed at one of those resort water park things, which was pretty fun. Got to swim and do a bunch of like water slides and stuff like that.
When you say it like that, it makes you sound like a total noob.
Well,
I did all the stuff that I was when I was a kid. I went to the water park.
Well, I mean, it's like we're all kids at heart, so you get to have a little bit of fun, and then we'd leave and go drink, go to a bar, go to a strip club, go to a brewery. We had very adult things, like Uber driver that picked us up from that. It's like, I usually get a lot of people picked up from here to go to the strip club, and we're like, yep, that's what happens, and then off on our merry way.
Yeah. You're very lucky that I'm not jealous. Was your best man's wife, did she know about them? The strip clubs?
I think I told about that earlier today, that she put it out of her mind and then got kind of mad. I think she was okay with it because there wasn't like private dances involved, so she was okay.
But he probably saw their privates.
Actually, most of them are no bottoms.
Really?
Or bottoms on.
It's not like Big Al's where you just saw everything.
No, I mean, towards the end of the night, some people did and some people did. It's a business. They're trying to get one last hurrah to like, no, okay, moving on. I don't know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, and it's not something that I would do regularly, because it's still awkward. Like, I've done it a handful of times in my life, usually involving someone's bachelor party, or when you're at that random time in college, but, like, I'm not gonna, it's like, some people I know, some people you see, like, they go there every weekend in, like, a hoodie and jeans and just, like, ogle women for 6 hours. And you're like, that just seems like a sad life. Like, I probably won't go to a strip club again until someone else gets married. Mm-hmm. Like, probably Drew's bachelor party is probably the next time I'll be at a strip club.
Yep.
But it's like...
who knows? You might not even be at a strip club. They might come to you.
That is possible. That's what he did for someone else's. But that would also be just as weird. You're like... I feel weird about, like, a naked woman brought to my room.
Well, they're not naked when they come in.
Well, that's true, but I mean, like, it's just awkward. It's like, because it's probably her and then, like, a big, scary bouncer dude, and you're like, this is terrifying.
Daisy! Sorry, our cat is playing with things that... Oh, no, it's not Daisy. Rorykins, what are you doing?
What does he have?
He was playing with some plastic.
Where did he get some plastic? I don't know.
I don't know.
Our animals are weird. And Max has been... Looks like Max is a little tuckered out.
Well, I don't think... We didn't play ball today. I don't know.
He had a good time. He got to get away a little bit. But, yeah, like I was saying, it was a good bachelor weekend. After we left the Dells, came back here. I forget what we did on Saturday during the day. It's something in the afternoon.
You guys...
Well, we got back in mid-afternoon.
You got back before I got back.
Right. Saw you for...
And you went to dinner.
We went to dinner, and then we went down to the city to drink and do all that again. And that's when I got very intoxicated because there was beer and shots and mixed drinks. And then I blacked out or browned out because I don't remember a lot of what happened. All I remember is just slumped over on the L train, very drunk, and then with my head hanging out the window of the car ride home, and then waking up Sunday morning, actually crashing on the couch. I couldn't make it to the bed, sleeping until early in the morning, going to bed, and then waking up, not able to breathe out of my face, and very queasy and hungover, and just dead.
Yep.
So then I got to lay around, watch the Bears-Patriots game, and then did one of those escape rooms, which was pretty cool, with some of the other guys from the night before. And then that was the end of it. And then I had to go to work the next day and try and survive. So my voice is still a little shot. I'm still a little sick. But things are getting better, and I'll get back to my routine. And then Liz gets to have her little bit of fun this coming weekend.
Mm-hmm. It's my bachelorette party, but I don't know if I'm going to get that bad. I don't know. it scares me. You know how it says, like, I keep having these, like, flashes of just, like, Liz is gonna throw up. I don't want to throw up. I'm very, like, sad when I throw up. I don't know how else to describe it as just sad, right, Andrew?
Like, yeah, they want you to drink a lot, but at the same time, you don't want to, like, you don't want to have that be the white cloud. Like, you don't want to have, you get 2 drinks into it and then get sick and have to go home and be like, well, that was your bachelorette party.
Well, and, like, for me, like, it's so like, get very traumatized when I throw up.
Right, you
It's
make
just
up excuses.
fun.
You hide in a bathroom, and then you just need
I
to
have
go
like
to bed.
I have a routine. I've seen a pattern recently of I go to the bathroom. I sit down, and like all of a sudden I get this horrible vertigo, and then it's like I try to center myself. I guess is the best way to describe it. Is just kind of like make it go away, and it just doesn't, and I just sit there. And then eventually I get woozy enough where it all comes out. And it's like, I can't move. Oh my gosh. It's like that one time when we went to Jared's wedding and I was like, people were trying me to get up and I'm like, no, I can't. I'm very pathetic when I am.
Right.
But it's because I'm so woozy. Like I'm not one of those kids that can puke and rally. Like that's not in my vocabulary. I've never been able to do that. Like once I puke, I'm done. Like that's it. I'm just gonna be sitting by the toilet for like hours and then going to bed.
I think when you were younger, you used to be a little bit better at that.
No, I feel like even if when I was younger, I would puke and I'd just be done for the night.
Well, that one used to be like, I just need one more and then I can go to bed.
Yeah, that's
you'll lay down and then everything will start spinning again.
That's my classic line. It's like I say I have one more, I wait for a long time, then I'm like, all right, it's not coming. Then I go lay down, and then the woozies, the room spinning happens to the point where you're just about to vomit everywhere, and then I run back to the bathroom, and that's when it comes. So I don't want that kind of weekend. It's not fun.
Right. You want to just have a couple drinks, maybe one type of drink, so you're not going to play that kind of roulette of like, oh, it's too many differences to cause your body. Just keep it slow, keep it steady, and then hopefully have a really good time without any complications.
Yeah, I'm just going to drink lots of water, too.
Yep.
Yes, because I tend to not do that.
Right.
I just don't want to throw up in public, because that's been happening the past few times, and it's not fun. It makes me feel, it's very embarrassing. Like, the last time we were at I was doing so good. I was almost at 1 year with no issues like that, and then we get to Oktoberfest and I drink too much, and I've never gotten sick off of beer ever.
It was thick beer. It was heavy beer though.
Well, I don't know. So we had 2 beers. I had 2 amber ale.
Beer.
No, I had 2 amber ales earlier that night. Then I had dinner, and then I had the 36 ounce one and like a half 36. So 36 ounces, and then one whole one and part of another one. And then that's when I was getting the woozies. Yeah. But I never thrown up. It was just like it hit me. But I also think it's a something with my medicine too, where I get because I never before, being on the medicine that I'm on, I've never had like the bad like spins or anything. It was like when I threw up in college, when I didn't have the medicine, it was completely different than now. I drank a hell of a lot more in college before throwing up than I do now. So sad.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think you'll have a good time. It looks like everything's coming together. Everyone's excited. It should be a good night.
Yeah, maybe I'll be too nervous. I won't even want to drink.
I feel like you'll have like maybe whatever's on the. You'll be having a good time. You'll never have whatever's on the whatever your transportation ends up being.
I don't know what we're going to be doing for transportation. I'm in the dark about a few things. I've kept myself honest. I've only seen, so we're doing an Airbnb in Wrigleyville, and I've only seen it empty because I looked it up on Zillow.
Nice.
It's also it was a $666,000 like apartment condo thingy.
Oh, so it's not a house.
So it's not a house. No,
okay.
It's like a giant apartment.
Nice.
I think, but it's really nice, and I only saw it with no furniture in it because it was the real estate pictures, but it looked good from what I was seeing.
Yeah, I know, like, my mom's pretty excited. She talked to me the other day and was asking, like, oh, do you know, like, what I should wear? I'm like, I am not the person to ask because I am not a part of it, and Liz is also in the dark, so we have no idea. All I know is I gotta take them to, like, the train station or to someone's house at a certain time, and then I have the rest of the night to myself.
Yep, what are you going to do? I know what I did with my night. I was with my mother planning the wedding. So I didn't really get to enjoy myself that much. I got to lay in the middle of the bed for 2 days. That was pretty nice. Laying in the middle of the bed in our king-size bed.
And I just had to... I'm probably going to end up seeing a movie since I haven't done that in a little bit, and then...
Oh, it's been a whole 2 weeks.
Like 3. No, actually, no. It'll be 2 weeks. I saw Venom.
No,
I saw Venom 2 weeks ago.
It's like your IV.
I did it like twice a month, and then I'm
your
good.
intravenous, yeah.
And we also
we watch movies like
right, but like going to the theater.
Going to the theater, you go maybe twice a month, but then at home we watch movies all the time. I feel like watch it like at least once or twice a week. We watch a movie.
I guess that's true, but still, it's nice to get out to the theater just because it's different. You don't usually not having your phone. You're very engaged in the movie. Like when you watch a movie at home, you can go to the bathroom. You just leave the movie playing. You're on your phone. You're doing other things. It's not as engaged. When you're in a movie theater, you can't do any of that.
I wonder if I would have liked certain movies that I saw, that I've seen here, like at home. If I would have liked it better in the theater, like Thoroughbred. Like, I wonder if I would have liked it better at the movie theater rather than seeing it at home. Probably not. It was boring as hell.
Well, it's like when we do like the best picture review. Like, there's movies that we wouldn't go see really on our own. Like we wouldn't see if it was playing by itself at the theater, and it probably wouldn't rent it at home. But we end up watching the whole thing. Like Phantom Thread is a movie we would never have.
Oh my god, that was just such a weird movie.
Like we watched the whole thing. Like I remember all the details of it. Like it might not even be as good as Thoroughbreds, but it's just that whole different feeling when you're kind of in the theater and stuck watching it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. We'll see. But you actually saw a movie while I was away.
I did. That was the one fun thing I got to... Well, 2 fun things I got to do while you were away. I went to see A Star is Born and I died a little inside. It was good, but it was just really sad. And then we went to this place... my brother was playing up in Kenosha. He was playing up in Kenosha. He was playing Carthage College. And we went to this place called Ron's. And it's called Ron's Place. And they have the greatest Long Islands ever. And I would agree with that statement. That they had like 40 different kinds of like different variations of the Long Island. And it was delicious. And I would go back. I would not have more than one because they're giant and they have a lot of alcohol in it. But I would definitely go back to have one. Because like by the time you're at 2, by the time I was at the end of the first one, I could not drive. Luckily, I wasn't driving. But if I were, I would not be able to DD if I were to have a Long Island iced tea from Ron. Good?
No.
Oh, that's so
it's nice to have a little drink. It's like when I was with your dad on Saturday night and he ended up trying a pumpkin beer and it was just awful. So he gave it to me and I already had a mixed drink. I had like a vodka Red Bull, so I needed the caffeine. So I had both of those in like the same like 20-minute, 10-minute span, whatever time it was. Time was weird that night. Things moved fast and slow. It was a lot of alcohol. But yeah, pumpkin beer is not a good thing. No, don't do it. Apple cider or cider-based drinks are so much better than pumpkin-based. Just like all fall things, apples are better than pumpkins.
I would agree. Pumpkins are for carving, not for eating.
Yeah. Pumpkin seeds aren't bad.
Except pumpkin pie isn't bad, but...
Have you had pumpkin seeds, like baked pumpkin seeds?
No.
Those are good too. But yeah, definitely not. I'm not a pumpkin spice person or a pumpkin. Like, pumpkin ice cream, no. Pumpkin flavored coffee, no. Just hot cider, always good. Mm-hmm. Happy apple cider, like hot cider with like Fireball, oh, so good. Mm-hmm. Or like you get the one where it's like you mix like a regular like bottled cider, like alcoholic cider, like Angry Orchard or Reds or whatever, with some regular apple cider and then with some Fireball. You're like, oh, just that's good campfire weather. Or campfire drink. Yes.
Oh, today in the weather.
Yeah,
a slight chance of apple cider with lots of pumpkin.
Oh, God.
I'm so funny.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 3. This time it's fall.
Yeah.
It's falling! There's a leak in the boat!
But leaks aren't in season.
God.
Oh,
We're fading fast.
Yeah.
It has been one of those days today. Liz, is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
I don't think so.
Liz just wants to shower and go to bed because it's that time of...
It's that time of night. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, if I'm singing at this point, that means I am ready.
Liz wants to be in bed asleep in the next 20 minutes.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, like a half hour.
Yeah.
You'll be in bed, ready for bed. Probably watching Family Guy.
Yep.
Because that's the new night show.
Would you rather me go back to Forensic Files?
No, because then I have murder nightmares.
Ha ha ha.
You start watching Making of a Murderer Season 2.
Yay!
More Brendan Dassey.
I can't wait.
Woo! There's so many shows we have to watch.
Oh, that's what lazy weekends are about, but we don't have any for a very
Next
long
weekend.
time.
Next weekend.
Next weekend I have cookie baking, but yeah, Saturday I guess would be a
Saturday
lazy
night's
day.
the night for shows. Yeah, Saturday night's the night.
Alright, well.
Alright, let's get us out of here, Liz.
Why? I don't know how.
Alright, I'll do it. So, thank you again for listening to our shows. You can check out all the other shows on the Journey into Comics Network by going into journeyintocomics.com or by checking us out where all you can find all the other podcasts. And if you listen to us, you already know where the rest of the shows are, so keep that up. Also, we have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/journeyintocomics where just for $1 you get early access to all of our shows plus exclusive content. Nate, the Podfather himself, has a Kickstarter going on for the Bandies and Walk Among Us. You can check them out through his Facebook, or it's been shared through the Journey into Comics Facebook page, so definitely check that out. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another great episode for you.
Woo!
Woo!
Great episode.
I don't know what it's going to be about yet. Maybe Liz will do it solo.
Okay.
No, I have no idea. It's 2 weeks away. I don't know what's happening. November.
Woo! Turkey Day.
We're still like 2 or 3. And we have a cat staring at us who's like saying, wrap this up and feed me. So we'll get out of here. Have a great week, everyone. I am Andrew.
I'm Liz.
Goodbye.